Welcome to the Empowered Podcast with Deanna Merlino, an all-encompassing personal development show where I will be sharing with you just how to transform yourself into the best version of you, both inside and out. From wellness, entrepreneurship, spirituality, and manifestation, I'll be showing you exactly how to live your best life. I will be keeping it as real and raw as it gets. So get ready to peel back the layers and really transform yourself under the surface. Because nothing is better than finding your purpose and living this life as your true, authentic self.
Hello, empowered fam. Okay, let's dive into today's episode. I'm just going to catch you up on what has been going on in my world. This has been a whirlwind of a time, and it's so funny. I talked about this on my social media earlier this week, of like, I'm going through it. And with that, I'm totally okay. I know that I'm fully supported. I know that everything is serving me and playing out that the way that it is for a reason and for a purpose. And I know that I'm going to be just fine. I know that everything is going to be fine. I know that emotions are not our enemies, they're our friends, and they're letting us know things. And I have learned not to suppress them and to feel them, and that all of this is just preparing us for our next level. If something's falling away or if something is, showing that it is has to be changed, it's just showing up that way so that you can be supported for the next level and so that you can be in the most alignment in this next level. Like if something's not working, you've got to fix it. And so trying to avoid it or stuff it down or run away from it is just going to elongate the process. And I don't do that anymore, thankfully. And also, I always find it so funny. This comes up a lot of, especially in retreats, I've noticed in retreats where people will talk about, I can't wait until I'm at this level of understanding, talking about, the amount of stuff that I know, or I can't wait until I've healed enough till until I get to the point that these things no longer bother me or that I'm never triggered or like, okay, I just want to tell you that will never, ever, ever happen. We are humans having a human experience. We are going to have all of the emotions. We are going to go through all the ups and downs. This is the cyclical nature of nature, and there's no avoiding it. What goes up must come down, and there's always going to be ebbs and flows, and there will always be the breaths in and the breaths out. How it's just how it goes, and it's all beautiful and it's all a gift, and it only ends when you're dead. So enjoy the ride and be grateful for all of it. And that is to be said that like that doesn't mean that you shouldn't chase that journey, because you should, because the more that you heal and the more you step in and embody that knowing of like everything is happening for me, not why is this happening to me, then you learn to weather the storms. You learn the tools that you need in order to move through all of life's stuff. You become unshakable. Can you be triggered? Yes. But even the triggers are a good thing. They're showing you where you have more healing. They're showing you where you need to shine the light on the shadows. And so all of that to say that you will always have stuff, no matter what level you get to. It would be impossible not to, and it's all a blessing. So with that, let's dive into what has been going on. So at the lodge, we need a lot of stuff, but so there's 3 buildings there. The place is massive. It holds 59 people. And the middle building, which is our biggest building, it's the oldest building, and it is the most rented building. It has all the things that need to be repaired. So my dad built everything 35 years ago, which means that now everything is essentially at the end of its life. And we knew that, and we've been trying to repair as we go, but things are just kind of coming to a head. So now we need an entire new roof. We also really need to redo all of the decks, all of the stairs, and the building's massive. It sleeps 29 people. We need to redo the entire left side of the one side of the building. And we really planned on getting new furniture and updating the decorations and painting. And like, that's just not going to happen, because as much as we want it, as much as we know that, it would help in booking, we literally just need to cross the major stuff off the list, which is our roof immediately. And correcting the left side of the house is right after that. That's already on the books. And then we really have no choice but to fix the stairs as well. And so this is a very hefty bill. And like this place is a monster. Imagine maintaining three homes that consistently host 59 people. And it's not that my dad ignored it. He knew what had to be done, but he was sick the last couple of years of his life. And so he did what he could. And the rest of it, well, it's just deteriorating because everything deteriorates. And that's just how it goes. And so we have no choice but to do it. And with that, the quotes for it are monstrous and it will essentially drain our entire bank account. And that's scary. And so really just been sitting with the emotions of all of this. I've never had to worry about the lodge in the sense of like I've always worried about the lodge since we took it over 3 years ago, but I've never had to worry about not having the continuing it, like footing the bill. And now that we're going to wipe the entire bank account, that is super stressful. And I've just been really sitting with this like, entrepreneurship is wild. This is why everybody doesn't do it because, quite frankly, not everybody has the backbone or the balls to do it, if we're being quite frank. Like, entrepreneurship takes a whole other level of insanity and delusional and trusting and facing the fear and doing it anyhow consistently over and over and over and over and over and over again, probably till you die. That's just how it works. Like, it just, there is I don't foresee getting off that roller coaster ride at any point in business because new levels bring new devils. At every level of growth and expansion, you're going to run into a new something that you need to learn. You're going to run into a new something that you need to scale. You're going to have to learn a new process. You're going to have to evolve. There's just always going to be stuff. And so one, I'm really grateful that I have that gall that I really I was, built to survive the fire in that way. And that's how I grew up watching my parents do that. But being in it right now is definitely, it's a lot and it's stressful. And so when we got that quote, I literally was like, okay, Dad, please give me a sign. Please, send us some help from the other side. We need help. And, backing it up, I don't remember if I shared this or not, but when I had a shaman clear the land, one of the things that she told me as she was standing on the deck and looking out into the woods, this beautiful mountain across from the property. And she just took a moment to herself and she was like, your dad came in and he just wanted to let you know that he's so grateful that you have decided to continue on in this legacy and that I'm doing the best that I can to take care of it and doing what he would do. And that he's just really proud of me and that he's always here supporting me and cheering me on. And I really needed to know this because we've had this for almost 3 years now. And there was many, 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 many times where I've questioned, like, am I doing the right thing? Is this what he would have even wanted? Because he was on his way to retiring, but deep in my heart, I knew that he didn't want to retire. He felt that he had to retire because he knew he was up against a ticking time clock that he was losing. But I knew in my heart he did not want to let go of the property. He did not want to sell it. He just felt like he had no other option. And obviously, he passed before any of that transpired. And so I just really felt in my heart that he did not want all of what he built and poured his entire life into to get sold. And I knew his master plan. Like, I knew my dad's crazy brain of, he may not have been leaving behind money, but he was leaving behind a gold mine in all of the properties that he left behind. Like, there's nothing better than the equity and having the land, and like that was the money to him, and I knew that. And so there were times when I'm like, it'd be way easier if my mom just sold this and we like got a place in Florida and then we had a nice vacation rental home. And even though that felt easier and like the safe route, it always felt not wrong, but I just always knew that's not what my dad would want. But when we had all these consistent uphill and uphill battles over and over and over again, I'm like, is this a sign that we're not supposed to be doing this? But everything in me kept coming back to no, it is like, keep pushing, just keep pushing. And so when I got that message, I was just really, really, really grateful because I knew I had made the right decision. So now back to the story where I said, Dad, we need help. Please give us a sign. I literally walk outside, and as I'm walking outside, I see this massive feather laying in front of me, a fresh feather. And I'm like, okay, my dad, I mean, I always get feathers and I always can tell when it's from my dad. And so I'm like, I was definitely a message. And that night, we got a big rental, and the next morning we got another rental, and both were unexpected. And I was like, okay, we're gonna be okay. We will get through this. The bookings will come, because this has been a really slow year for bookings. Like, that place has been in business for over 30 years. And my mom said this has been the slowest year in business ever. And like, that's no joke, man. So, it really just, it allowed me to hold the faith. So that was really great. And I've been looking for new quotes, and I'm like, we'll sort it out. Everything will be fine. I know that we will make it work one way or another. And so now that was really what I've been dealing with the last few days, the last week, and then roll into today. Today is my dad's birthday. And so I actually went out yesterday to the lodge and was meeting a couple of the contractors to get those quotes for the work. And then I was really just thinking about how it was going to be my dad's birthday today. And so I started to get emotional. And then I went to dinner with my in-laws. And then when I got home, I started to, it was back in my head. Dad's birthday's tomorrow. I was getting a little upset. And I opened my Instagram and I see a video, the first video that pops up. And it was essentially like, when everything gets hard and everything feels like it's falling apart and everything feels like it's piling up, this is God's way of, showing you that chaos. And I had a podcast episode about this not that long ago, but when you're in it, you're in it, right? And so it was a great reminder, like, things get really chaotic because they have to shift and fall apart before you get to that next level. What needs to be stabilized will have no choice but to be stabilized. What needs to fall away will fall away if it's no longer serving you. And so it was just a reminder, like, okay, I am on the brink of a big breakthrough. And so I love that, right? And I'm like, okay, this is great. And I reposted it on my story. And then that was going to be it. I was like, I actually don't feel like scrolling on Instagram. A doom scroll would not help me right now. And as I did that, my page refreshed. And the story that was right on top it was actually someone that I went to college with, but it's not someone I stay in contact with or, connect with anymore. But anyhow, they made a post about their business, and the song that was playing that was attached to that Instagram post was Frank Sinatra's song, I Did It My Way. And that was my dad's funeral song. And I lost it because I'm like sitting here thinking about how this has been really tough, and I know that I'm supported. I know that we'll get through it. But when we're in it, it's just tough. And so that was such a beautiful message. And then I'm like, okay. So I went to sleep. I knew I was going back out to the lodge today. And there were more contractors today for more quotes. And I decided to bring out my crystal singing bowls, and I just felt called to, just take some time to connect with my dad and be present at the lodge and be in the barn that he built for me to get married in, and just connect with him deeply. And I actually brought his favorite beer. He had two beers in my fridge from the last time he visited before he passed, and I have yet to get rid of them. And so I brought one of his Yingling up, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to connect with my dad and just play him a little concert. And I set his beer on the picnic table, and I'm singing happy birthday and just really connecting with him. And I felt super connected to my dad. I could just, feel this sense of like pride, and almost like the performance of the singing sound bowls was like energizing him in a way. Like, I just felt like it was making him really more noticeable that he was around. And so then I take off for the day and I'm heading home. And as I get off the exit, the truck in front of me stopped at the same exit. Their license plate cover in big bold letters said Dad. And I giggled and I'm like, hi, Dad, I got it. And I felt really good about it. And then I go to Chipotle, my favorite place to go eat. And we have a new one opening right near our house. And I thought it was open, but it wasn't. So I was a little bummed. I'm like, oh, now I got to drive all the way to the other one. And they're the worst. Their staff is just horrible. The food's never great, but I really had it in my head for Chipotle. So I had to that one. And the girl who served me my order had a giant 333 tattoo. And actually just connecting the dots here even further, there was a butterfly on top of the 333. And as you guys know, 333 is my number. That's how I communicate with my dad. And then I walked out. I'll tie that together in a second, but I walked out when I was done. And the car that was parked right in front of the door was just covered in sunflowers. I mean, the seat covers were sunflowers, the license plate was sunflowers, the license plate cover was sunflowers, there were sunflower stickers on the car. And on my way to the lodge today, the sunflowers are my dad's favorite flower. And as I was on the lodge today, me and my mom were talking, and she was like, I really need to put dad's cross where he passed away. And I was like, yes, and we should plant some sunflowers. I don't know if they'd survive over there because it's not a super sunny area, but she said, let's give it a try. And she was like, I'd like to plant a butterfly bush as well. So the butterflies are over there. And so it was just like, it was like boom, 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 message after message, and really confirmed to me what I had felt of like, I was energizing my dad and being able to connect more. He gave me sign after sign after sign that he was here today. Like, I always know he's here, but I love the signs. It felt so great. And so, yeah, so that's where I've been. Just wanted to update you on my day. Remind you guys that we are always so supported. We're never alone. When we feel like we're struggling, we're never alone. Everything is working out for our greatest and highest good. And so whether you're dealing with grief, or whether you're dealing with loss, or whether you're struggling in business or finding your purpose or a relationship, whatever your struggles are, I promise you, keep pushing. They will sort themselves out. Everything is going to be okay. You are supported. You're not alone. If you need to chat with me, if you want to chat with somebody, I am here. Someone's there. Just reach out to someone. Just know that everything's going to be fine. So I wanted to share this little bit with you guys to know that even I, the queen of manifesting, also has stuff, because everyone's going to have stuff forever. It's how we grow. It's how we evolve. That's why we're here. And you just have to push through it. Listen to your body to rest, listen to the signs, listen to the guidance, pivot, stay strong, trust, have faith, and keep pushing, and everything will always be okay. So with that being said, I love you. Have the best day, the best week, and I will see you next time on the Empowered with Deanna Merlino podcast.
Thank you all so much for listening to today's episode. If you want to dive deeper in with me, you can follow me on Instagram at theempoweredcoach333. You can also check out everything I have to offer on my website, which is deannamerlino.com. Whatever platform you are listening on, do your girl a favor and please rate and subscribe. This means so much to me and is going to help the show grow and reach so many other people. I am so grateful that you are here with me on this journey of growth and self-empowerment. I cannot say that it will always be easy, but I do promise that it will always be worth it. Stick with me and let's start living as the version of ourselves that we were truly meant to be, because the world is waiting on your gifts and you deserve to live the life of your wildest dreams and beyond. So friends, let's get empowered.